everyone. This is my Deltarune fan theories tier list, I guess. This video is sort of similar to Jaru's, I guess, but it's just me giving my own personal take on it, as well as just being a sort of a time capsule for me to sort of look back on, because the new chapters are coming out sometime soon, 3 and 4. I think some stuff about them has actually been leaked, like some song titles or something. I saw like a tweet about it, but yeah, I haven't seen the actual song titles though, so I'm completely like unspoiled. But I just figured I'd better get this in for the new chapter's release, because I mean, this is a very unique time in the I don't know, fan discourse, I guess, and the theorizing and all that. So I just figure I'd better give my 2 cents on it while I still can, Anyways, let's get right into it. Actually, never mind, I lied. That's not the end of the intro. I should probably explain what the tiers mean, and probably say a few things as well. My mic is not the best. You're probably, and I got the fan on, it's super hot in here, and I'm just real nervous, so I'm gonna probably be stuttering a whole lot. I'm gonna try and cut that out, so if y'all hear any cuts in the video and whatnot, that's me trying to clean up the audio as best as I can. But the tiers, I'm not really like basing them off of anything, like I'm sort of doing this on vibes and like what I think is partially likely to happen, but also there is like a factor of like, whether I would want it to happen or not, I guess. And then the canon tier is just stuff that's canon, obviously, like, I'm gonna try and find one. Just give me a second. I'm gonna find it. T-theory, for example, T-theory is not really it's a theory the same way that gravity is a theory, it's, I mean, what else could it mean, really, Anyways, let's get into it for real this time, alright? So, starting off, we have a couple easy ones. I put these both in C tier. Second intro voice is Kara, and Foreshadow by Half-Bred Chaos. Second intro voice is Kara. I haven't really seen any evidence for this, or evidence that Kara is even in Deltarune to begin with, For Foreshadow. I don't know, I just can't really get into it, It also does hinge on the Noelle attacking Darkness at the start of chapter 2, which I don't necessarily believe, but I'll get into that one later. Angel equals player, I'll put that one in a solid, like, put it at 8, well, probably like a high B tier. These probably aren't going to be ranked against each other, but whatever. Angel equals player. I'm more of a Winter Wonderland kind of, I'm more into that theory personally, but I think it creates a compelling narrative. But Angel equals player, that's like a good, like, well, I'd say it's probably like Noelle equals Angel, then Angel is a new character, and then Angel equals player, and then I don't know, well, actually, wait. It could tie into like Chris's whole thing with us, but I don't see us being like the final boss. I don't know. It seems like that's gonna get resolved maybe before the Angel, but that's just my personal thing. Asgore had hand in Death's disappearance. I'll put that at A. Seems very likely, considering how the town sort of, not the town, but like certain characters like Toriel still mad at him. Like, she shows sort of a similar amount of, like, I don't want to say hatred, but like, her not liking him as Undertale. And in Undertale, he was responsible for the deaths of six children. So, he had to do something in this universe, well, first of all, I've reordered it, but, like, second of all, I'm going to be counting Azrael as dead as Ralsei equals Azrael's dust, because these two are from the same theory, by Jar Jar J, but, like, I like the idea of Azrael being dead, which is gonna be going with this one, but with Azrael possessing Chris, I don't see it. Like, I think it's pretty, basically canon, that, well, I wouldn't put it in canon, because, like, some spooky dooky, some crazy shit could happen where it's like, boom, all that's recontextualized, but, like, I don't see that happening. I don't know why Jaru's so, like, intent on it. Don't get me wrong, I love his theories, but, you know, he's just very intent on the player not being part of the narrative, and being part of the meta-narrative instead, even though it's like, all the shit with the jukebox, well, whatever, I shouldn't get to ranting, but, possessing Chris, I'd put that at, like, D tier. Like, I wouldn't be mad if it happened, I just don't see it happening, but, like, and I also don't really see this happening, but, like, at the same time, I like the idea of Duskeners, and, as you'll read it, I believe those are Duskeners, anyways, you know, Darkners made of Lightner's dust, and, you know, Oberon, Smog, or Alcei. I like that idea, but I don't know how accurate it is, you know? Oh yeah, Rosso being dead. Listen, it would recontextualize a lot of Chris's actions. It would do a lot for the story, but, you know, I think if Rousey was the one, like, because it's not really in Rousey's character, or Azrael's character, to, you know, Snowgrave. I could totally see, like, a player-type character doing Snowgrave. I mean, you know, we do Snowgrave. But I just don't see, like, an Azrael who's had, like, no trauma whatsoever doing the same type of shit that Flowey does, you know? But Flowey, like, existing is, like, Jaru's, like, top piece of evidence, and it's just, I don't know. This isn't a hit piece on Jar Jar J, by the way. Like I said, love theories, but logic is sort of flawed. Azrael / Rousey sing Don't Forget. I think it's a cool idea, but I really don't think it would change much in the story. Like, if it's like a reveal, like, towards the end. Like, I just think it's a little bit too soon to really say that for certain, you know? Birdly is falling down in weird route. I said that's basically canon. I mean, he gets up in all the other endings, but not the weird route, so check 3 secret bosses, Flowey. I don't want Flowey 2.0, I'm gonna be honest, I want Flowey again. Like, it could be cool if it was like a Spamton Neo sort of thing, where it's like, oh, you never really got to fight Flowey in the original game, but, or like a proper fight with him, but, you know, it's like Metaton Neo, how he was sort of brought back with Spamton Neo, but Chess Theory, immediate S tier. I love me some Chess Theory. I really hope Mike is some kind of a Rook type character, or Tenna, whoever it is. Choice between Noelle and Rousey. I think that's pretty likely, but at the same time, I don't want it to happen, you know, because I love me some Noelle, I love me some Rousey. But probably put that at A, because, like, the whole, oh, the maids left the party thing with the with Dragon Slayers, I believe that's what it was called, the RPG that Noelle plays with her dad. Dark World in Church, I'd say that's like S tier, if not canon by now, because all the leaks and shit that's been happening. Also, these leaks are like
actual leaks, not like funny Toby Fox felt so today, but like actual, like, leaks. Pretty sure 15 minutes of gameplay, like the first 15 minutes got, like, I don't even know, I saw somebody post like the first 15 minutes of gameplay. I don't know if that's like a funny Deltarune Tomorrow meme thing or what, but I haven't seen it, yeah, because I don't want spoilers before I make this video. Like, maybe after the video, but not before.
You know? Dark World equals D&D, that's F tier. I was Game Theory's video right after Chapter 1. I wasn't buying that even when it first came out. Dark Worlds, Parallel, Undertale areas. that could be kind of cool. With Card Castle being like Asgore's whole thing, new home, and the core and Cyber City being sort of, I don't know, I guess both tech inclined areas, but I guess we'll see with the next two chapters, you know, but once again, it's sort of more of these, like, I'd say, like, low-stakes theories, like, this one would change a lot in the narrative, but, like, at the same time, I just don't think we have enough, like, proof for it, you know? Darkness are objects brought to life. That's just canon, man. You just put a canonical, like, fact in here, you know? Some completely off-the-walls type of stuff would have to happen for that to not be true, you know? Deltarune Azrael made Undertale on his PC. That's F tier. I don't like the idea of, like, other stories being, like, you know, screwing over the predecessors, essentially, you know, being, like, discrediting them, I guess. And it's like, you know, ooh, dream theory, or, like, all of it was a dream, all of it was fake, you know, I don't enjoy that. Deltarune is an Undertale prequel. I think in some senses, like, Sands of Papyrus Undertale, or 100% Sands of Papyrus Deltarune, like, it's sort of been canon, but, like, Deltarune isn't necessarily, like, in the eyes of Sans or Papyrus, it would be, but in terms of us, you know, I'll put it at C. C's getting stacked, but, yeah, I'd say in some senses, it sort of is, but at the same time, you know, alternate universe, which, like, yeah, you know, Deltarune is just Undertale fanfiction. I watched this video, like, the 3 varying qualities of theories, I think it was. It's been a little while, man, but, I don't know, the idea of Deltarune just being some, like, it's very much Deltarune Azrael made Undertale on his PC level of, you know, thinking, I guess, you know? And I'm pretty sure this one was not entirely, like, serious, you know? Like I said, varying levels of authenticity or quality or whatever, however Misty Sparkle titled their video, but yeah. Deltarune is Undertale Genocide sequel by Bandit Games. This one, I'd put that one in D tier. Nothing against Bandit Games, but I think it makes too many assumptions, you know? Oh, you know, Chris Knight and the Wet Nose Bandits. I think they just saw Noelle's mom. I'm pretty sure that's like what was implied. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, I'm fairly sure that's what was implied, you know, because it was by their house, you know, and just by the characterization we're given of the mayor / Noelle's mom, which is sort of canon, but it would fit the characterization, I guess. I guess that's what I mean to say. Deltarune Papyrus is an asocial incel. This was based off of, like, demo Undertale stuff. Not demo Undertale stuff, but, like, you know, Undertale stuff, like, that Toby Fox was, like, planning but scrapped. And since we've never seen Papyrus, some people assume that he's just asocial and, you know, he's one of the incel types. But I don't really... I mean, I guess it's a way of interpreting things, but I don't know. I think it's more likely that he's just a child or young, you know. Gaslight Theory, I do not like that one. Once again, it's just too... Oh, this thing is actually this other thing, and it's different, and I lied to you on purpose, you know. Same reason I don't really like this one. Just because it requires Toby Fox to sort of dance around his own statements and be like, well, I never said that genocide would be untouched. Like, alright, man, alright. Gaster drove Jevil mad. That's up there. I'm sort of tempted to say that that's canon, but not like... He could be a different mysterious man, you know? Gaster drove Spamton mad. I think that Gaster drove Jevil mad is definitely, like... I'm not really ranking these within the tiers, once again, but... I think Jevil being driven mad by Gaster is higher than Spamton. Because Spamton... There's a little bit of inconsistency where, like, there's a lot of evidence to point that, like, Gaster did it. But then again, there's also, like, you know, he also knew Mike and Tenna, and, you know, the general quality of his life is just awful, you know? Like, Jevil, he ain't have it too bad until he met with the mysterious man, or however Sham puts it, but... Spamton, I mean, he lost everything. Also, I said Gaster central to the plot. That's almost canon, but it's not canon enough to the point where I'm just gonna put it here. Like, or not. It's just that we haven't, like, seen Gaster yet, so we can't say, like, definitively that he's canon, you know? Gaster made Deltarune. I think that that's, like, definitely a possibility. But, like, we don't know, you know? We don't know. Yes, just put University and Deltarune. Wasn't this just, like, a theory that, like, by accident, he accidentally, like, split the universe into those two? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I guess I would sort of fall into this camp, but yeah, Gaster theme battle remix. This is basically saying that, like, the freedom motif or whatever, or the like, Jevil's theme, it's just a remix of Spamton, or, fuck me, Gaster's theme, which, I don't know, I guess I could see that, but, like, once again, I don't really, like, it's a cool idea, but at the same time, I don't think there's any real evidence for it, like, other than the freedom motif. Gaster versus Chara, once again, or Kara, whatever, I think it's Kara, but, yeah, this one is very close to second intro voices Kara. Close enough, like, these two are basically, like, I think this one hinges on this one, you know? Grand Fountain made Rousey special. This one's very high up, just because I think it's the most plausible, given that the whole Duskiner, Rousey Azrael Dust theory thing is incorrect. Like, yeah, you know, I could totally buy the Grand Fountain is just some, you know, boom, now you can transport between Dark Worlds and not die when you go to a different one, you know, or turn to stone. Icy Theory by HBC, I don't know, wasn't it the idea that, keep in mind, some of these videos I watched, like, when they first came out, which is years ago, but, actually, I think this one is a little bit more recent than some of these other ones, but, I believe that's just, like, a icy monster roaming around that, like, Noelle talks about, I think, and apparently there's, once again, the thing that attacked the Wet-Nosed Bandits. I'm not entirely sure how much I believe that. I'll put it in D, actually. It could be, like, funny, sure, but I don't see how it would affect the plot, you know? Interesting chapters of flashbacks. I think that is an interesting way of looking at things. However, I'm not entirely sure I buy it, you know? Same as one of these other ones, I believe, but Night equals Alvin. I like this one. Once again, I like Winter Wonderland, you know. It's like 7 days and 7 nights, that theory, you know, where it's... I say you know so much. I am so sorry, but... I'm just gonna put that there, but... Yeah, I think that theory is so cool, where it's like, you know, first one's Alvin, second one's like Alvin's wife or sister or whoever. You know, third chapter, Chris, obviously. Fourth chapter, you know, somebody else, and then it's just... ends with Noelle, you know? Chris Knight, I know what I just said, but, well, not in D tier, but I think that if they're, like, because I'm assuming that these are just, like, you know, one night, wait, no, not Death's my fault, Mayor Holiday, I'll circle back to these two, actually, because I just went on a rant about something completely unrelated, but Chris Knight, I think the idea of there being one night and it being Chris is super lame. Just ultra mega lame. And I just think it sort of like kills the drama behind it, you know? I don't know how to voice this. Anyways, Alvin. I think he has like, cause, oh yeah, another thing about Chris Knight. How would Chris know how to create a dark fountain? Cause like, the only reason that I believe that Chris knows how to create a dark fountain is because Queen taught them. But how else would they know? Other than the like bunker encounter, I guess they could have learned that, but like, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Plus, they look very surprised and like, you know, very scared of the fountain when they first discover it with Susie, and I don't believe that Chris, who is so normally so neutral and just not expressive, would, you know, back away and be all scared like that, you know? Unless if it was something that they were actually scared of. I don't see them as being a too big of an actor. But, back to Alvin. I think there's, like, some weird crap going on with Garrison. You know, Garrison being, like... I gotta stop clicking on my mouse. I know that's loud on you guys, but... That's actually probably gonna mess up all my audio. Oh my god. I've been doing that for a while. I'm gonna see if I can clean that up for you guys, but... Jesus, anyways. Yeah, Alvin could have totally learned it from Gerson, or like one of Gerson's like journals or something, you know, one of his books. The mayor is also pretty powerful, like locally. She can probably figure it out somehow. And we don't really know about the mayor as a character yet, other than she's Noelle's mom and she probably acts sort of like Queen. But well, not in the way she acts, but like, you know, her dynamic with Noelle and just being very controlling and just kind of mean, but or not mean, but you get me. And Des could be a good motivator for her. Now, Des Knight, I'm not a Des Knight enjoyer. Des Knight, she's sort of, there's a character in the code like begging out for somebody to like come find them and help them, which that doesn't sound like Knight speak, you know, and people think that's Des. I think that's Des too, honestly. Like, like, you can't tell me that there's 2 people trapped in an unknown location that we have to save. Like, come on now. Yeah, that one goes with Chris Knight. That equals Papyrus. I wouldn't hate it, but like, it's like these other Papyrus ones, where it's just... Wait, was there another Papyrus one, or am I... Oh yeah. It's like the other Papyrus one, where it's like, we haven't met Papyrus yet, so we don't really know, you know? We don't know. Knight equals Rosse. That's probably worse than these two, honestly, just because it would sort of require Rouse to be like, I don't want to say evil, but like, he'd be like manipulative, you know, like playing both sides. Now, I don't see that for Rouse. Like, I don't know, I don't see that, but Knight equals rules. Seriously is only, guys. Seriously is only, but Knight equals Vessel. I think that one's pretty good, honestly. Chris is a Vessel. I don't like that. Chris is their own character. I was just like, oh, you were a Vessel this whole time, and like that's why they live with one. I don't know. I don't like it. put it in F. Chris's Deltarune Kara. I'll put that one with Chris's first Deltarune. I don't think it changes much, honestly. I don't think it changes much. Unless it, like, I don't know, I guess it might, like, retroactively, like, change how we look at, like, Kara or Frisk's actions from Undertale, but, like, you know, Chris may have found for synthetic reasons. I would put that in canon, but we don't, like, know that yet, but we can sort of assume. Chris summoned the player. That seems to be what's sort of hinted at through the whole rituals and stuff, but, like, it's not as rock solid as, like, some other things. Actually, wait, hold on. I'm gonna... Yeah, that's more right, but... Memory heads refer to Deltarune. Once again, maybe, I don't know. Naked Ralsei theory. I would love this if it was true. However, I don't know. It's like that one guy who's like, oh yeah, my newborn infant, or my newborn, like, child, he's doubled his weight in this many months. That means in this many years, he'll be like 2,000 pounds, you know? It's like, you're basing this thing off of a sample size that's just way too small, you know? We've only been through 2 chapters. However, Ralsei has taken off an article of clothing in each of those chapters. So if you think about it, Naked Ralsei theory is basically canon. Nah, I wish, but it... I mean, it should probably go with these, however, I like it, so it's getting boosted up. It's getting boosted up. Yeah, I'm corrupt, how could you tell, but... Narakara, I don't see that. I don't see Narakara in... Actually, I'll put that down there. Like, I guess it could happen, but there's 0 evidence for it. I think, it might have been Andrew Willingham. Or, sorry, not Willingham. Who is Andrew Willingham? Andrew Cunningham. He might have done a video about that, I can't remember, where he was, like, analyzing, who the narrator of Deltarune is, and he was like, oh, I don't know. That was me, I'm sorry. But I think it boiled down, I haven't watched this video in like 2 years, so, you know, y'all, I'm probably wrong, but I think it boiled down to him just being like, this is too inconsistent, I don't know. Which, that's fair. I would not be able to do any better, you know? I'm not here to tear anybody down. It's just my opinions. And I'm very, like, monotone with my voice, I guess, so I'm not really good at expressing. Noelle attacked Deltarune Darkness at the start. I don't really, I'd say that's down there, because, like, the Darkness, they're just scared. They're specifically talking about, the wires. I think they mentioned the wires and her, which is presumably the queen. They might have actually said the queen by name, I don't know, but yeah, Noelle created Spamton. I'm pretty sure that got debunked. Like, where Spam's Q&A was like, you think that Hoochie Mama is my Mama Hoochie or something? Yeah, Noelle killed Death by Bandit Games. I haven't actually seen that one. I'm assuming it's like Snowgrave. Like, Snowgrave in real life. I'll put that at D. I don't think that monsters can cast magic outside of the Dark Worlds. But the idea of Noelle killing Death is pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Oberon Smog, S. I like Oberon Smog. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but a man can only dream. But I want to go back on this. Yeah, this one sort of shares similarities to, where is it? Azrael being dead because Chris killed him. I think that's... I really like that idea of, you know, that guilt and stuff eating them up. I think that Noelle, like, if I was writing Deltarune, I would make it so, you know, Noelle and Chris are sort of responsible for Death's disappearance. Not, like, responsible, but, like, I don't know. Noelle, like, maybe, like, blocks stuff out. So it's sort of like this theory prescribes? I don't know what the correct terminology would be there, but like, you know, it puts forth, I guess. I believe that that's what that theory puts forth. Or not, that's not what I believe it puts forth, but like, you know, the whole Noel blacks things out. Parse equals Eggman. I don't think that. Why is he giving out the eggs, man? Player will leave Chris / become Vessel. Why else would he keep him the code? Rossi cares about player, not Chris. I think Rossi cares about the player and Chris, because Rossi, like, pulls Chris aside when we're not around and is like, you know, whispering in their ear, talking some conspirating against us, but at the same time, you know, Rossi ties in this next one. He like blushes when our heart is near him. It's kind of odd, actually, but yeah, the way he acts around us, you know. Did I say that right? I don't even know. Rossi has Shadow Crystal. I believe Jaru is a proponent of this one. And like that's how Rossi knows all this crazy stuff. It should go down here, but I'm putting it B. I'm putting it B. Rossi equals girl. Rossi equals evil. Yeah. I don't think Rossi's evil. I think he's hiding things from us, but I don't think he's evil. I think he's like... I think he might be like... too like... I'm trying to find the right words. He might be like too anti-Knight, I guess, you know? Like, but whenever he finds out what Chris does, he's gonna like flip or something, you know? But like putting us at odds against it, Rossi, but I don't think Rossi is like necessarily like evil, you know? Rossi equals Chris's ideal self. I think Chris is Chris's ideal self, like in the dark world, you know? Because escapism and all that, you know? It wouldn't make sense for one character to have another character be their escapism, you know? Rossi equals Chris's new true soul. I mean, I guess. I think. I remember seeing this, and it was like, this wasn't like the main piece of evidence, but it was like the outfit that Rossi wears. I don't know. I'll put it at D. Like, with the like soul, like the red heart on him. And, sorry, not red, black heart on him, and it's like, ooh, it's the hole. Hold on, pause. The hole where like the soul goes. I'll say equals Red Horn's headband. You would have to like be able to like move on their own. I get like the Red Horn's headbands, you know, because like there have been instances where Rossi is like away from us in a dark world. Like when we went to go get the stuff, or Chris in the, you know what I mean. Chris goes to get the stuff in chapter 1 at the beginning of chapter 2, and they leave Rossi alone in the dark world with Susie, and Susie's like with Rossi the whole time. And I don't know. Unless the Red Horn's headbands can just Red Horn's headband can just teleport. I find it a little bit unlikely, but I'm gonna. But then again, why would Toriel like why would that be in the game? You know, Rossi is working with Gaster. I think maybe like Rossi is like working under Gaster or like receiving visions from Gaster, because like Rossi is one of the only people to know the prophecy, and the prophecy is like very heavily tied with Gaster, so it's not out of the question. But I just need more evidence, you know. I need more evidence. Rossi theory by Daisy Knows. I believe this one is just like Rossi is sort of like hometown incarnate, I guess, which is like, yeah, it's a cute theory. I wouldn't say it's like as good as where is it? Oh my god, where is it? It's gone. Oh, no, on Grand Fountain theory. So I'm just gonna put it at A, just because it's like that'd be my runner-up. Roaring has occurred before. Is this time loop sort of thing, or is this like I guess how would they have legends of it if it didn't occur before? I don't know. I guess I'll put it at C. We don't really know jack about the roaring except what Rouse tells us. Rules equals gaster. Serious theories only, guys. Serious theories only. Fuck me. Rules equals important. I guess I'll give him this. Put like 3 rules theories at F. I guess I'll give him that one. Sans equals Darkner. Sans equals Ness. Serious theories only, guys. Sham equals secret boss. I think that'd be cool. But I'll put that right there. 7 bosses equals 7 deadly sins. I guess like Jevil could be pride and Spamton could be like greed, but that's what most people propose. Actually, I'm not like proposing that, but Shadow Crystal, Show Time Loop. I like that one. It's one of the only ones that like sort of makes sense, I guess. Other than Chris looking at their hand, it not being there, and all that. I don't know. I guess whatever. I shouldn't get too far into it, but Expansion equals on Wrong Number song. Again, it's with these other C ones, it's like either not enough evidence or it just doesn't change much, you know. Susie from Human Community. That could work. You know, Susie and Chris have a bond, I guess. You know, that could tie into that. There's this one, oh, Susie's half human? I don't believe that for a second. I think we would know if Susie was half human. It would explain the blood and like the inconsistency with like bleeding monsters in Deltarune, like whether monsters bleed or don't bleed. Because Susie says everybody bleeds, but I don't know, that one kid. Anyway, Susie has bad home life. I think that's basically canon. Like we can all agree that's basically canon. But Susie resists player by Mystic Slime and Tiger Shark 859. I watched this one like somewhat recently, but I genuinely cannot remember. I believe it's Susie resists the player. Like there's something like special about her. I think she has like determination or something, which is kind of like, I don't know. I don't think there's anything like special about us, like being able to control people. Like, yeah, we can sort of like be in their minds a little bit, I guess, but like they don't have to listen to us. Like Susie is able to resist us, and I don't think Noelle ever resisted us or Rosse, but I believe it's possible, you know. Time theory, is that not like, that's with this one, you know. I'd put that one like above that one. Trail is homophobic. Pretty sure this individual's only like pieces of evidence where that Rudy and Asgore probably had gay sex and Toriel probably was mad at them, and that's probably why relations have soured between all of them over the years. And Toriel bought Asriel bad cologne. Like, those are the only pieces of evidence that I remember. But like, Toriel has a non-binary child. Like, I don't understand it. But Toriel kills Undyne by Spiky Box. I think this could be a really cool idea, and would be an S if I thought it was actually likely. Which, I don't know. I guess like Toby Fox does confirm, like, we can do a little bit of snow graving, just a little bit, you know, only a spoonful, but only a spoonful of snow graving, you know. But I'll put that at B. I really want it to be true, because I really need a fillet of fish right now, but, you know, Universal Mother Theory, I would put that at canon if I had a little bit less restraint, but sadly I do not. I love Universal Mother Theory, honestly. It gives us a little bit of an insight to each of these characters, their childhoods, backstories, you know, stuff like that. How they interact with their parents, which is, it's big, it's massive, even. But Marcel Sands is from Deltarune. That one's like, that one's like basically canon. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't know what else it could mean. The whole like fun event with Susie thing in OG Undertale. I don't know what else it could mean. Finally, last but not least, Woody theory. It's like the friend inside me funny thing with the whole canceled cowboy show. It's really between B or D. Like it's an over and under sort of thing, because I'm not putting in C. No, it's not. It's not an F. Hold on. I'm gonna use C as like a holding zone so I can decide. I'm gonna have to cut so much out. I've just been sitting here thinking, like, trying to remember what the Woody theory actually is. Or not, like, what it actually is, but, like, what the pieces of evidence are that support it. Oh, yeah, mic being, like, the microphone that talks inside of the... I don't know, I'll put it at D. I'm not entirely sure about that. Like, I really do want a cowboy area, because it's really cool, and I like the costumes, and just, you know... I like cowboys, you know, but I'm not entirely sure how plausible it would be. You know, the whole, like, because this was in a newsletter, mind you. Toby Fox was like, hey, no more cowboys, but apparently there were cowboys, so that's fun. So, that's about it for the tier list. I'm gonna try and get this, like, finished and posted before Deltarune drops. Drops in, like, 7 hours, I believe, from my recording of this, which should give me enough time to edit this, but, you know, Deltarune tomorrow. Yeah. Damn. See ya. Like the video if you liked it. I guess. Subscribe if you wanted. Well, I don't know whether I'm gonna do more Deltarune videos. It's just, you know, mostly for me. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel, honestly. Like, I want to make videos, but I just... I'm not even for sure what I'm gonna make. Like... I meant to record this hours and hours ago, but things kept, or not even hours ago, like days ago, but things kept coming up, but I'm glad I can finally just get it out now. Hopefully. Anyways, that's it.